Hey folks, how's it going? I'm going to check out The Office, man. So I definitely look forward to checking this out. My only concern is because I enjoyed The American Office and I've seen most of the episodes, how much would that impact my view of this show? Even though The American Office took this idea and made their own, you know? I've never had a show that I've reacted to that I can compare to an American version where somebody like ripped it off and I seen that show first to watch it. So I'm just really curious how that's going to impact my view of this show. Because you just don't know until you get into it. Like, you can try to turn it off as much as possible. That you know, I don't know if I want to say bias, but that you're going to actively comparing. And I want to kind of turn that whole thing off. It's kind of like when somebody spoils something for me. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking about the spoiler part. Like, when is that spoiler part going to happen? So I can't really focus on enjoying the show because there's spoilers in the back of my head. Like, when is that going to happen? When is he going to grab the axe? When is she going to lose her arm? Like, I'm thinking about that. That's why I hate spoilers and avoid them as much as possible, even if it's one sentence. So, I'm wondering if the American Office ruined this for me in some way. If they follow any of the same storylines. If it's almost the exact mirror. I just don't know. So, hopefully the American one didn't ruin it for me. And I can go in here and it can just feel clean and like a new show. I'm really hoping. So, let's just go ahead and jump into it, man. I know a lot of you guys don't like The American Office, but I enjoyed it. Maybe because I didn't have anything to compare it to, so let's jump into this, man.
Sammy, you old slag. The Brentmeister General. Have you advertised the forklift driver's job? No, good. Don't bother. I've got the man here. He's perfect. Has he passed his forklift driver's tests? He gives the tests. Yeah. He's first aid trained, yeah. Yeah. We'll get a CV over to you this afternoon. I'm seeing you Sunday, aren't I? For my sins. Oh, he's Elaine. She left you yet? Yeah. All right, see you then. She has left him. I forgot about that.
Oh, my God. Bogus.
David Brent. Dawn, this is from head office.
I know.
How many times have I told you there's a special filing cabinet for things from head office?
You haven't told
It's called the waste paper basket. You're fine. Don't get that right. People say guilty as charged. Oh yeah, went out with a few of his mates, didn't we? And he goes, well, tag along if you want, but I must warn you, David, they do get a bit rowdy after a few pints. I went, oh, I'll see if I can stand it. Right? I was worse than them by the end. They're going, who's that nutter? That's my boss. Well, we can't stand it anymore. We're going. They just left, didn't they? I told you. Oh God, absolutely mental. Resolve.
He's just two of the cringiest dorks.
What?
Nobody say anything, Jesus.
See you later.
See you later. Take care.
Right.
Shoot.
Was there anything that you wanted to add to the agenda?
Did not get an agenda.
Sorry?
Did not get an agenda, no.
I did fax you on this morning.
Don't think we got a fax, did we, Don?
Yeah, we may have.
Then why isn't it in my hand? Because a company runs on efficiency of communication.
You put it in the bin that was a special filing cabinet.
As a joke, yeah. It's not even my joke, it's my brother's joke, and it's meant to be with bills. Doesn't really work with faxes. So
Do you want to have a look at mine?
yeah. Ricky?
Yeah.
Ricky! Ricky, no, Ricky! What is his girlfriend's name, EastEnders?
Yeah, Bianca.
Ricky, leave it! Did you tell you I was mad?
Well, yeah, she said you had a nervous breakdown.
I haven't had a nervous breakdown, so...
No, because, sorry, that was a joke.
Yeah.
She said you had a really good laugh, and, you know, just,
Wow.
sorry.
We all are, aren't we? Part of my job description now, isn't it? Unofficially. Okay, let's get you started. Into the fray!
Right.
It is a nightmare.
About the job. What is in it? It's my stapler. Well, don't do that. Well, eat it out. There's people starving in the world, which I hate. So, and it's a waste. So, how do you know it's yours?
Because it's got my name on it in Tipex.
Yeah, don't eat it now. In chemicals.
Right, you can be my witness. Give him an official warning.
How do you know it was me?
It's always you. Can't you discipline him?
Oh, kinky! No, the thing about practical jokes is you've got to know when to stop as well as start, and now's the time to stop putting Gareth's personal possessions in jelly, alright?
Gareth, it's only a trifling matter.
Here we go. We're always like this.
You should put him in custody.
He's going to fit in here. We're like Vic and Bob, aren't we? And one extra one. Oh, God.
Ask if you want to borrow it.
Hey, you always say no, mate. What's the point?
Perhaps that's why you should ask.
Gareth, it was just there, okay?
Yeah? That's his home. Leave it there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Philip, get that off him.
No, no.
Get that off him.
Stay where you are, okay? I'm going to let this go, right, unless you stop acting like a fool.
Well, you won't, so...
Well, I have, so...
What if that kills someone?
Oh, kills... well, they'll think you're the murderer. It's got your name on it.
Why would a murderer put his name on a murder weapon?
To stop people borrowing it.
David?
I hate the fact you bring me down to this. I really do...
I don't know why you're laughing.
Well, leave her out of it. Well done. You carry on. Listen, you bring me down to this, mate. I had a bit of a scare earlier.
Did you?
I thought I found a lump. I
Ugh.
examine myself regularly, but it's fine. Terrifying. Testicular cancer.
She's like, dude, I'm eating.
Cancer with them old testicles. What's that?
It's a bit of brie.
What from down there? See you later.
I'm just got,
If you were in the meeting with Jennifer, then maybe you should adhere to the ongoing confidentiality agreement of meeting.
yeah,
So,
information is power.
So you can't say for certain whether it's going to be us or them, can
right,
you?
this is my ship, and I'm asking you to trust me,
Oh,
and you can't go wrong.
It's not a question of trust.
It is a question of
No,
trust,
it
Malcolm.
is.
Yeah, it is a question of trust. Do you
Communication.
trust me? Do you trust me? Yes or no?
Yes, I trust you. I trust you.
He does. So, meeting adjourned.
Good, excellent.
Okay.
I would have said much the same. In fact, I would have said a very similar... Can I just ask, do you trust me? Hands up if you trust me. Yeah, well, you asked them.
Yeah, put your hand down.
No, I need to
That meeting
know.
was
I'm
trash.
assistant regional manager.
Assistant to the regional manager. They're gone. Sanj. This is Sanj. This is Ricky.
Hello.
Nice
to see you,
Doing
right?
all right.
This guy does the best Ali G impersonation. I did do it. Go on.
I don't. I think there's
Oh.
someone else.
Sorry, no, it's not you. It's the other one.
The other,
Yeah.
the other one.
what?
Packy.
Oh my god.
That's racist. So, no, I don't have a great many ethnic employees, that's true, but it's not company policy. I haven't got a sign on the door that says white people only, you know. I don't care if you're black, brown, yellow, you know, Orientals make very good workers, for example. You know, good drink.
Great job,
End of
bud.
the week. Dawn, can you put up a chair? I was going to call you in anyway. I need a quick word. As you are aware, there are going to be redundancies, and you've made my life easier, in as much as I'm going to have to let you go first.
What? Why?
Why? Stealing. Thieving.
Thieving?
Yeah.
What am I meant to have stolen?
Post-it notes.
Post-it notes. I've never stolen as much as a paperclip and you're firing me.
And the good news is, I don't need to give you any severance pay because it's gross misconduct. So you can go straight away.
It's a terrible idea. Oh, shit.
Now,
You know, I remember this now. I think I seen this clip of that compilation where she was like crying. That's that fucked up face. Dude says a joke.
good girl. That's a joke you're doing.
Jesus Christ.
Well done, settling in. Practical jokes for the good. Thanks for...
You wanker.
Right?
Come on.
You're such a sad little man.
Am I? Didn't know that. People. Investment in people. Yeah? My proudest moment here wasn't when I increased profit by 17% or cut expenditure without losing a single member of staff. He was a young Greek guy, first job in the country, hardly spoke a word of English, but he came to me and he went, "Mr. Brent, will you be the godfather to my child?" So,
That shit didn't happen.
It didn't happen in the end. We had to let him go. He was rubbish. He was rubbish.
Jello again. First impressions are the same impressions I had when I first seen the American version of Office. It was okay. Like, I wasn't sold with the first episode of Office when I watched the American one. I watched the first episode, I was like, eh. And then I came back to it like years later. So I'm guessing this is probably gonna have that same growth arc or whatever, like a lot of shows do when they try to get their footing in the first few episodes. There's very few shows that actually kind of won me over in the first episode. I think X-Files is one of the few that I saw the first episode and was like, yeah, this is the show for me. Even watching Buffy, when I saw the first episode, I'm like, ugh. It was super dark and gloomy and kind of weird, and kind of felt, even when I was young watching it, it felt a little cheesy. And then I came back to Buffy and loved it. Same thing with, like I said, Office. Came back to it and loved it. So this first episode isn't strong, but that's like most shows. Like I said, there's very few that come off really strong. In Betweeners, the first episode I thought was really strong. I thought it was really funny. A lot of people were saying stuff like about IG Carlson is going to get better later on in the series. I thought the first episode was really funny. I enjoyed it. So there's a lot of shows here that I watched the first episode and I enjoyed it right off bat. Enjoyed it a lot where I'm like, I can see myself watching the rest of this. There's other shows where I watched it in the beginning of the first episode, I'm like, it was okay, it was decent. And I felt that way about quite a few shows. When I first saw Star Trek, though, when I first watched Star Trek, I'm like, ugh, this is terrible. I'm a huge Trekkie now. That's why I always say it's really hard to me for a lot of shows to get their footing. It's rare for them to get their footing in the first episode. They always grow with it. So this one too, watching this, it felt is that what I expected? Those really kind of long dead moments that Ricky does that kind of make you sink into the weird awkwardness. He was being really, yeah. Of course, he was being a bit annoying. Similar stuff happened in the first episode of Office with Dwight. His name was it was Dwight in American Office, and using the ruler to kind of push stuff over. So they kind of ruined that joke for me. The Jello thing, I think that was in the first episode of American Office as well. So they kind of run it for me. And I'm almost positive he fake fired Pam too in the original episode of Office. Watched it so long ago, but I think that was the first episode. So I think they really took a lot of moments and put it in an American one for the first episode. Of course, Steve Carell did things differently. Ricky kind of I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. They're both this annoying, weird boss, but in just different ways. Small things like him trying to show off the little bass fish and point at it yeah, you got to check this out, and there being no batteries in it. His lack of preparation to show somebody something that he loves. Just the faces he makes, when he sees that he screwed up, when he was making a joke about I forget the girl's name now, but he pretended like he was firing her when the old boy was talking about looking up the chick's skirt. He's I'm not looking at the skirt. He's looking up her skirt and stuff like that. So it's just the faces and stuff like that Ricky makes, and how long he makes you marinate in the awkward cringe that makes it different. You see those subtle changes to the American Office made, but for the most part, it looks like a lot of the stuff the American Office really kind of just pulled and tried to I guess embellish on top of it a little bit, just to make it I guess a little more like how when Dwight on the American Office, when he found the Jello, he goes, oh, he gets pissed and throws it. You put my stuff in Jello again, and makes this big deal about it. As him, he seemed a little calmer. So, but yeah, man, but all honesty, if this was just like the American Office, if I was just happened to be watching this at home, if it came across and I watched the show, I'd be like, yeah, this probably isn't for me. And like I said, I do that with quite a few shows. I probably need to change that, because there's some shows, like I said, I've turned on in the first episode, I'm won over, and that doesn't mean I'm good at picking shows or anything. Because an example of a show I thought was fantastic was Testes. In the first episode, I fell in love with the show that canceled out of 2 seasons. It was another show, I forgot what it was called. It was a sci-fi show with these people with abilities. I can't remember. Oh my god, I cannot remember what it's called. But I thought it was fantastic. So they all had these abilities, and they all hid them throughout their life, and they tried to come together. And the show ended on season 2 on a cliffhanger. And I think it was Alphas. That's what it was. I think it was called Alphas. And it was 2 seasons. And I thought this show is so fantastic. Everybody has to love the show. They canceled it. And that show won me over in the first episode. So I clearly don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to shows. Oh, Firefly. First episode won me over. Show got canceled after one season. That's why I say I have a habit of I'm watching the show and the first episode I'm like, every so often I come back to I'm like, okay. But like I said, all in all, this was decent. It was a decent episode, but like I said, I feel the same way I felt about the first episode of The Office and here. Like, I watched it, then I ended up coming back to it. It didn't sell me in the first episode. So honestly didn't really expect it to sell me in the first episode here either. I was just concerned that me watching the American Office would have ruined some of it for me. And it didn't. So, I mean, a few of the stories were like, some of the stuff was there, but nothing critical. Get to know some of the characters. Very similar dynamic between like the characters that are on the UK show with Old Boy and them always having a confrontation because their desks are right next to each other. The receptionist somewhat being cool with Old Boy, he's trying to get her to go out for drinks, and the boyfriend being reluctant and like stopping her from doing anything, kind of being controlling, just like that. The boss being dim with it. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this goes through where each episode gets better and better and better. All right, guys, that is all for this one. Hopefully, you guys are happy, safe, and healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Later.